This kid's fire.
What's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother,
Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. It's the preview, and it's the opposition preview. But the opposition is me, because the Spurs fans as also City fans. So I am the opposition as well. You get it? Yeah? No, I'm not joking. George will be with us in a few moments' time. He's just finishing up on another stream, so he's jumping on in a minute. I think he's just on another stream. So, yeah, we'll get into it in just a second. Big up to everyone that's just come over from More LB. Big up to More LB for the raid. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well if you guys are new. And yeah, man, listen, we're gonna speak about tomorrow's game. Listen, basically, yeah, I just said in that watch along, because people are like, what watch along? More LB. If you're not subscribed to More LB, I don't know what you're doing. I wasn't really that bothered about what happened, man, because, like, for me, all I've heard for, like, the last 3 weeks is, oh, Spurs going to roll over, Spurs going to do this, Spurs going to do that, blah, 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 yeah? And I'm just like, hang on a minute. We are literally smacking everyone up in the league, yeah? The only time we scored less than 4 goals in the Prem since the Arsenal game was against Forest, yeah? And I'm just like, how about people speak about City as well? People just keep on speaking about Spurs. How about people speak about City and recognise that actually we're cooking right now? Spurs have injuries. Like, the only real result is a City win. Anything other than a City win tomorrow is a mad shock. It's a mad shock. So in my opinion, like, City should be getting this job done. We should be getting it absolutely boxed off. You know, I'm confident, man. I've gone for a 3-0 score prediction. I think players like Kevin De Bruyne tomorrow, players like Rodri, players like Ruben Diaz, players like Erling Haaland. These guys, man, they want to play in these games. They're not really asked about the other games, man. These are the games that they want to be playing in. So for me, like, I'm just like full send situation tomorrow. I am going to be nervous, obviously. You know, so when I start the watch along tomorrow, don't be going, LB, you had your chest out last night, because, like, I will obviously be nervous because it's a massive game, but, like, it's what it is for me. I'm ready for it now. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to win this league. Like, all year we've battled, yeah? We've battled and we've had issues here or there. Like, we've had debates about what players should be playing in what positions. Has Pep played the right player here or there? But ultimately now, it's up. There's 2 games left, yeah? And we have the chance to make history again with a 4-peat and that. So, listen, tomorrow's going to be a madness. Yo, bro, he's saying, man, where's your city top? Oh, bro, you're muted. Either you're muted or... Wait a second. Might be me, actually. 1 minute. Is it me? No, it is you. Where's his city top, chat? Yeah, I thought this guy was going to come in and singing Blue Moon. Yeah, with his little brother... With his brother city kit on from back in the day. Talking about his main road diaries. We're not hearing it. Nah, I'm not hearing you, bro. I can't... You might have to... You might have to come out of... Yeah, you might have to just rejoin it. You might have to just rejoin it. Where's the Algeria kit? Nah, we're finding that tomorrow. As soon as I wake up tomorrow, yeah, first thing I'm doing, I'm going to go through my whole wardrobe of clothes and I'm finding the Riyad Mahrez Algeria kit. That's what I'm doing. Big up to Andrew, says Klopp ruined that game. Why bring on 4 subs on top? Yeah, a lot of people are questioning it on Twitter. I've seen a lot of people questioning Klopp's subs on Twitter. I think for me, McAllister, like, what's McAllister doing there, bro? And also, why are you playing out from the back with 4 minutes to go when you're 3-1 up? Just go long, innit? Get the game done, man. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing there. I think that last 10 minutes, you guys are just gone, man. You guys are just gone. You know, you just need the season to end, man. Honestly, you need the season to end. Yo, let's see if it's working now. Yo.
Yeah. It's up and running now. We're here. We're back.
What are you saying, bro?
You're feeling a bit fearsome for tomorrow.
Nah, I'm feeling confident, man. I got my chest out, bro. I got my chest out, man. I just feel like you not just think everyone's speaking about Spurs. Like no one's actually speaking about City tomorrow.
No, I hear it. To be fair, a lot of the pressure, because I mean the pressure's on Spurs because you guys don't have to turn up tomorrow to win. Like essentially, you guys can play at 50% and probably still beat this Spurs team. So people are just wondering what Spurs is going to turn up. Is Tottenham going to want to do a job tomorrow? And like I've been telling people, man, feet's up, kites are out, season's over. You know, ready like halfway on our holidays. So you guys are going to have a route in tomorrow. You guys are going to have an easy game. I don't think it's going to be, of course, like us completely bent over. But I do think that if you guys get an early goal, you're not going to see any fight from the Tottenham team to try to get back into the game. It's going to be a very boring performance and probably a boring game from that point. If you guys go 1-0 up, I see you lot just generally cruising to the win. You guys won't have to kick out a second gear.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I'd be interested to see what your take is, because obviously you live near more Spurs fans. I don't live near no Spurs fans, but like, Ange says, please, he says, if you're going by social media, then 99% of the Spurs fans want us to lose. But please tell me that's your world. If it is, you need counselling. He's a funny fucker, isn't it? Is he a funny fucker? Yeah. What is the vibe down there, man? Like, yeah, I mean, we're hearing a lot of, obviously on social media, all we're seeing really is Tottenham fans saying, nah, they can't have it. They can't have any, getting a point or Tottenham winning. They need City to win. But like, is that like the fans that are like go to the games that like what's the vibe there like?
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. Like, most of the Spurs fans are of the thought that they don't want to win tomorrow. It's pretty clear, innit? No one wants Arsenal to win the league. That's just it's gonna give them a bunch of fuel that we don't need to be giving them, especially us handing them the league. Like, there's no worse way that can happen. Me speaking to proper Tottenham fans, guys that actually love our club, I don't know. I talk about standards. I talk about setting a level, and the way I see it is you have to go into every game going in for a win. I'm not gonna ever go into a game and be like, yeah, let's lose today because our rivals it's gonna help out our rivals it's gonna help our rivals if we win. Like, the way I see it, City need to win on their own merit. If City are gonna come and beat us, they need to play better than us. They need to deserve the win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want us to, go and give away a few goals to go let City win. And if Tottenham did win, I'm not one of the fans that will be mad. Like, I've seen Tottenham fans say that, oh, I'm gonna be mad if we win tomorrow. If we don't drop points, I want Ange at this club. Nuts, absolutely nuts stuff. Like, if we win tomorrow, then you know what? Look, City are gonna have to hit West Ham for what? No, actually, you're done in it at that point. You're just gonna have to go to Arsenal to win it. But,
if you win, then it's chalked.
But if it's a draw, then you need like 4 or 5-0 win or something.
If it's a draw, we need to win by 4. I think if Arsenal win 1-0, I think 4-0, 4 or 5-0 will do it.
Okay, so yeah, man, like, that's the way I see it. Look, City are gonna win on their own merit, and if it means like if we get a draw and you're gonna have to pump 5 past West Ham, you're gonna have to pump 5 past West Ham, but I don't see that happening anyway, man.
Yeah, here's a question for you. I see that because obviously I just done a watch on, man. Some people was chatting about it in there. Yeah. Like, you think you're gonna play the same? Because the Arsenal game. Like, I think a lot of people was shocked when you play Arsenal, man, because like you dominated that. But our first 45 minutes, you just dominated the ball completely. Yeah. Like, you had Arsenal pinned back in, and you actually had some. I remember Romero in that game probably could have scored a hat trick in that game. It was a madness. Mm-hmm. But like, you think Tottenham are going to be as aggressive sort of like playing against City, or you think you'll respect City a bit more? / you got beat 3-0 off Arsenal, so maybe it didn't work. Like, or you just don't really know. Like, you're just gonna wait and see.
Do you know what? I think that we're gonna play aggressive. We always do. I think, like, especially against you guys, like the pitch is gonna open up because, of course, you're gonna be playing through our lines. We're gonna be trying to play through your lines. I think there's gonna be chances on either side. I think the one thing that Spurs have lacked, and one thing we lacked against Arsenal, was quality. We don't really have much going on in the final third, and once we get to the final third, it's just like a lot of our players go there and end up turning back. So I think we're going to go for the game. I do definitely see us opening up. I think we're going to try and score goals, try to give the fans an entertaining watch. But again, like, it's just the quality in the team at the moment. I generally think that we lack a lot of quality. The likes of Maddison's halfway out for the season. He's looked poor for best part of 3-4 months. Maybe had 1 or 2 good games. Basuma's obviously not there, so it's going to be a Bentancur, probably Maddison and Sarr midfield. If Skip starts at left back, then I really don't know what to think.
Speaking about that this morning, man, about like, because people were saying some City fans want us to start Doku on the right hand side just to go at Skip the whole time. As I don't know whether to do that, or what would he play like in the last game? Was he all right? Like, defensively, from a defensive point of view, like, what was he like?
People said he had a decent game, but to be honest, look, he's playing against Burnley. Burnley didn't have so much of the ball, and half of the defending he's doing was on like those long balls over the top. Like, that's how Burnley play. Like, they tried to play through the lines at times, but a lot of it was long balls. He's getting the 1v1 battle, and he done all right in those duels, but he never really had a player doing a 1v1 dribble running at him like a demon, like a Doku. That would be crazy cooking. But to be honest,
this is the thing, bro. Because some City fans want us to play. I say I'm sticking with Bernardo just because, like, I don't know about your opinion, like, from a City point of view, but I want the consistency, man. I just want to play the same team that played against Fulham. If it was me, I'd play the same team that played against Fulham.
Keep playing the same team that was winning.
Yeah, and not mess around. And that means players like John Stones, who's probably our best defender, just like, you just has to hold bench, man, because, like, you don't really want to, when we're cooking, because this is the best we've played, all season. Since we drawn against Arsenal in the Premier League, we've not scored less than 4 goals in a single game. Only one time, when it was the Forest game. We scored 4 goals or more in every game. So, like, I don't want to mess around, man. And, like, I do hear the Doku shout, and I'm like, Doku against a makeshift left back in Skip, like, that would be pretty cool. But, like, what would be the downside of playing Doku? Like,
even if you put him on the left side, though, I feel like with Porro, because even Porro won the weak side.
Porro?
Yeah. Porro played last game. He scored a banger. So he's very fit. He'll definitely be at the game. But the thing is with Doku, is I find that, and no, with Porro playing on the right side, it's gonna give Doku space in behind. Porro obviously loves to fly up the right wing. He comes in on the inverted side. So when he comes inside of the pitch, there's so much space out on the wing. Doku's probably the one player that would be able to expose that space, especially with his pace and his ability on the ball. Like, he's just going to be running at players, and you need that pace in behind, especially if you're going to be catching us on the counter every now and then. Van der Ven's running in behind. You need someone with legs who can get beyond him. So I think you need someone like Doku on the pitch. But I also understand what you're saying, because the likes of Bernardo Silva, and if you go Bernardo, De Bruyne, Foden, their ball retainers. Their ball retention is just going to be key. You're going to keep keeping the ball. Probably going to have us sat 7 or 8 on the back of our box and be able to maintain it from that side of things. But yeah, no, for me, I'll definitely go with Doku tomorrow, just because the 1v1 battles is where you can get a lot of luck.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to see what he does. Like I say, for me, I'd just stick with it just because I want to just be consistent. And like, you put Doku in and it doesn't work, I think we'll just be sitting there going, fuck, why did we mess around with it, man? We should have just stuck with the same team. You know what I mean? And I think I'll be getting wound up myself, man. So it'll be interesting. What have you made of your season then, man? You having a bit of a weird season for Spurs, isn't it, man? Like, you guys started really, really well. You guys was cooking. People was like, oh, top 4 going to be easy. Now it's looking like top 4 is going to be super tough. Like, what do you make of Angie's first season, bro?
Yeah, no, well, Tottenham's pretty much with Liverpool bottling their lead tonight. Top 4's pretty much done, because we'd 100% have to beat you guys to finish.
You need
top
2
4.
wins, and you need Palace to win basically.
It's just not likely. So top 4's done. But as our season, do you know what? I feel like there's 2 lenses you can look at the season with. You can look at it with how we started the season and what the expectation was in August, and then what the expectation was in January. I feel like that's probably the best way to look at it from August, where our team was at, you'd look at it and say, do you know what? We probably ended up where we expected to be, you know, battling for Europe in that 5th, 6th position. And you know, with the rebuild, with Kane leaving, everyone thought that we were going to be battling 8th, 9th. The summer window wasn't necessarily an amazing window. We signed a few good key players, but it wasn't one that blown you out of the water to think that Tottenham was going to challenge or build anything amazing this year. I think I can't say we overachieved, because we would definitely need to be finishing top 4 or even 3rd or 2nd to be overachieving. But when I look at it from the lens of January, so if I look at it from January onwards, I think our team's been really poor. I feel like we've underachieved. We definitely could have got top 4. We've been in the position to get top 4. And if you look at just the games that we've dropped points in within the last couple of weeks, like all we'd need to do is win one of those games and we'd be pretty much just behind Villa. Like we'd be in a position where we could finish in top 4. So we definitely
underachieved. You
underachieved
didn't
on
get nothing out of those big games, innit? Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. Didn't get a
literally
single point.
because we went 4 games with no win. If we got 2 draws in there, even, like, it generally would have made our top 4 hopes way better and way stronger. We'd have been in a much better position. But now we went 4 games without a loss. I feel like generally since January, the team's performances have fell off a cliff. I don't know if it's because, of course, we were missing a few players at the start of January with Asia Cup, Africa Cup of Nations, injuries. But the performances just haven't been consistent since then. We've sort of been up and down, up and down. Ange has been less flexible then. I feel like he's sort of been forced to use some players that he doesn't want to use. And then you've got the top players, the likes of Maddison, the likes of Son. None of our attacking players have turned up since then. They've been really poor. Kulusevski as well. So for me, it's just like the season's not been bad. It's not been a horrible season, but we're definitely at the point where it's been like, do you know what? We have to go again next year. We expect us to really take it on a level. We're going to need quite a few signings to take this team to the next level. But Ange done what he could with the squad that he had at his hands. And 5th isn't really a bad season at all. It's sort of where we expected. So, yeah, man, it's been all right. It's just been one of those seasons, mediocre.
For me as well, bro. Yeah, Europa League and that. Like, something that stresses me out, is how teams in this country don't take like Europa League and shit seriously, man. Nice. So like, you got a decent squad there, man. Like you guys should be going for that Europa League next season, in my opinion. Because like it might be a mint trip as well. I don't know where the final is, but like that, you should be going for it. You know, you got a good team. You got like Van der Ven, Vicario's a good goalkeeper. You got a couple of other good players. Romero's decent. The midfield's decent. You know, Son's still. People tell me Son's had a bad year. I checked his G&A the other day. It's fucking still pretty sick G&A. So I don't know what's going on there. So you guys need to target that. But listen, tell me about if Spurs are going to get anything tomorrow. Yeah, what's your game plan, bro? What does City need to be wary of, man?
The thing is, I'd love to come. Like usually, I'd have a few ideas for you on as to how we can beat you guys. And I did even when we went to the Etihad and we had what no centre backs that game. We had 4 fullbacks in the back line. I was like, do you know what? We could still walk away with something today, because I generally felt confident that we could do something then. But for me right now, like it's so hard because we haven't really got much player. Like I said, we ain't got players turning up. The front line is so bad right now. Like Kulusevski is a shadow of himself. He doesn't really take players on. He doesn't look sure of when he wants to shoot. He doesn't look sure of when he wants to cross. Doesn't look like the same player he looked like at the start of the season. Same for Maddison. But if I'm going to look at how we could potentially win, we'd have to throw it back old school, man. I'm just going to have to throw all his principles out the window, do what Nuno done in his first game in charge, slap 7 on the back line, man.
Yeah.
7 on the back line.
That's why I'm pretty confident, man, for tomorrow, because, like, you know, when you come to the Etihad, like, you did do that a little bit. You did play a little bit more defensive and hit us on the break, but you could do that because it was at the Etihad. When I just feel like, is he really going to do that at home tomorrow? Especially because, like, let's be honest, like you just said yourself, like you're a Spurs fan, like top 4 now is pretty chalks. Like it's unlikely to happen. And anyway, to do it, you got to win. And I just think that like he's probably going to play quite aggressive and quite open and attack. And in that situation, of course, you will create chances, but that might be better for us as well, rather than you just sitting 100%. Back. Because like how many times have we played at your gaff or even our own gaff and you've just sat there, City dominate the ball, and you just hit us on the break, man, with Heung-min Son or something like that. And like,
literally,
I just don't see that happening, and that's why I've been confident for this game. Pretty much all season, I've been like, nah, this season is the season that we actually go to Spurs and win, and it'll be interesting to see what he does, man. But Yeah, I did think that that's probably the only way with Son, but I just don't see him playing counter-attacking
The thing is, even with that, like Son hasn't been that guy this season as well. Where like I've wanted him to do that role. You know, when he used to just sit on City's last man. He usually used to be Diaz. He used to sit on Diaz or Stones, and he'd just be or not Diaz. Sorry, Laporte. He used to kill Laporte every time and just run in behind off that last man, running. He hasn't done that this season. This season, he thinks he's Kane. He's trying to drop in deep, do like the build-up play, pinging it out left and right, doing the Trivellas and stuff like that. That's not his game, but that's what he's been doing. And I think it's because he felt the need to take on the captain role. He sort of feel the need to take on a bigger responsibility in the team rather than finishing the chances. So
yeah, but bro, this is what I've been saying to my chat about like who's the next City captain, right? Because I've got this thing here of like I don't really want to give Rodri the captain's armband, right, when Kyle Walker leaves, because he's so sick. Like, I don't want to give him any additional responsibility where potentially something could creep into his head and like he starts doing other stuff and then his game. Like I want to give it someone like I'd rather give it Diaz, you know, like a centre back, like, you know.
Hasn't Diaz like he's like what you call it? He's took on the captain role a few times in games, right? He's
he's in like the captain's group type.
Captain's group. That's what Arteta does, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's had the captain's armband a few times, like. But for me, like, I'd love Rodri to have it, but I just don't really want him. I don't want to risk giving him and him like, you know, doing something else because he feels like he has to. Like you're saying with Son, you feel like Son maybe he's doing something extra.
So yeah, trying to step up extra. Yeah, no, I get what you mean, because I feel like the thing is with Rodri, he does all the basics things. Like amazing. He's so amazing at doing the basics and he just sticks to it. He does everything that he needs to do, just sort of doing the simple passes, the simple play. Like you said, if he gets the captain armband, I feel like he might feel the responsibility to step up a bit more, try to do a bit more for the team. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like, I don't know, it's a hard one though, isn't it? Because Rodri is probably your most important player. He's definitely your best player. So it makes sense to give him the captain. And he sort of has that, I feel like he has that presence on the pitch, like when he's on the ball and when he's just looking, like he has that presence where he could tell everyone what to do and they're all going to listen because he's got the football IQ. So he'd probably be the best man for the job, to be honest. Like, it's just whether he can step up for it.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's about whether he can step up. Will it affect his game? Because you really don't want that. Listen, big up to Dave with a super chat. Says Doku will have a field day against a Spurs high line. Says Dave.
Yeah, man. Nico Jackson was flying in behind time and time again. And he's rubbish. So if Doku's going to be the one to do it, he's going to cause us problems, man.
Yeah, interesting. Big up Villa for Life as well. Said we did you a favour with Arsenal. Now it's your turn, boys. Yeah, listen. I hope so, bro. I hope so. Listen, if you're cheering tomorrow night, that means I'm cheering. Yeah, so that'll be buzzing. Question here. Our super chat here says, George, if you go to the game tomorrow, I need you to 2 feet tackle Son. That guy always turns up against us. Fulfill your mission. Love, says Sign Silver. Yeah, I checked his record before, bro. He's won more games than lost against City. And he scored, I think he's got 12. I think he's got 12 GA in 18.
Yeah, he's scored so many goals against you guys. I can literally picture like 4 or 5, and a lot of them are proper good goals. Tomorrow is definitely not going to be one. And do you know what? Funnily enough, I looked on the exchange to see if I don't want to go to the game because we're going to lose anyway, but see how many there is thousands of tickets available for tomorrow's game. Like I literally look, every single section in the stadium has basically fans available. So I don't know how the stadium is going to. I would say it's going to be empty, but you obviously know when the seats fill up, it looks packed anyway. But I definitely think the attendance will definitely be below. We've got about 60 capacity. I think there's going to be around 50 in there. There's going to be about 10K missing.
It's going to be such a weird vibe, isn't it, man? Like the thing is, though, right? You know what it is, right? I remember, and I told the chat this before, but I'll tell you, we played Everton in 2017 when we was head to head with Liverpool, and it was the same situation. Obviously, like they couldn't get top 4 on that, but Everton, if Everton would have beaten City, Liverpool basically go on and win the league. So it was one of them, and all the Everton fans at the time in 2017 were like, we want to lose, right? And in like the 10th, 12th minute, I don't know if you remember, Ross Barkley put one into the top bins after like 10 minutes. I don't know if you remember, after like 30 yards, and Goodison Park just erupted. Like they weren't booing him or nothing. There was absolutely buzzing, and because for them it's like Spurs tomorrow, yeah, it's a win-win. Like, you either ruin
Yeah.
it for Arsenal, or you ruin it for City now. Like, you kind of want to ruin it for Arsenal, but to ruin it for Arsenal, you got to lose, and you don't really want to lose. So, I don't see, I
Yeah,
don't
no,
see
for me,
any.
I see it your way. I see it both ways. Like, look, at the end of the day, I don't want Arsenal to win the league. But if we beat City and Arsenal end up winning the league, that just means Arsenal were the best team and they deserve to win it. But also, if we beat City and we end City's four-peat, hey, we're the team to end the greatest team's title run in ever, innit?
Yeah, well, that's what it'll be. That'll be the, that'll be the
That'll be the
thing
one
that.
takeaway I can take away from this season, innit?
Exactly. I mean, you'd rather. The thing is, though, it's annoying, man. You had the chance to beat Arsenal at home, bro. I remember doing a
No,
watch
trust me, I
on for
was
it, man.
literally that game. That ended my season. I'll be so real. Like that game really, and that ended my season personally. Once we lost against Arsenal, I was generally just like, "There's nothing to play for. There's nothing for me to celebrate." Like even top four at that point, I couldn't care less because Arsenal, they've done their thing. And do you know what? I have to give props to Arsenal because the fact that they turned it around after Bayern and Aston Villa and that bad week they had, they've turned it around and been on a winning streak since then. And you can only praise them for how good they've been, man. Like they've put the pressure on you guys, probably just as good as Liverpool's Klopp's team did. So you can only praise them for it, man.
Nah, listen, they're doing good, and Arteta's built a good team, and you know what I mean. I know there's still a debate about Arteta and that, but like it's time to win for them. You know what I mean? It's time they've got to start winning trophies. So they'll be hoping that obviously City drop points somehow. But like I said earlier on, man, I'm just super confident tomorrow. I feel like we're locked in. I feel like everyone's speaking about Spurs. What Spurs going to do? Are they going to roll over? Which is not going to roll over anyway. But like, what Spurs going to do? You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. And like, everyone's just kind of not really speaking about City. And I'm just like, hang on a minute, guys. Remind yourself that City are on this mad run. We've not lost since the 6th of December.
Yeah,
Which is crazy. And we're cooking, we're scoring goals, man. And if Postecoglou does play attacking, expansive football tomorrow, yes, that will create problems for us, and Spurs will have chances, but we'll get chances on ourselves.
I think that's the thing, though. You guys are going to get way more chances, and the quality of your attack is 10 times the quality of our attack. So the chances you get are more than likely to be finished, whereas our chances are probably going to fall to Brennan Johnson, who you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
there's really not much going forward there. But is Haaland fit for tomorrow? He is, isn't it?
Yeah. Haaland's fit. Haaland's looking good as well, man.
Yeah.
Since he got injured basically in like December, he's out for like 2 months, and then he come back and he just wasn't. He wasn't right. Something was wrong with him, man. Like, I don't know if he was carrying an injury or he wasn't fully fit or something. And then he had a week off, and then he come back for the game against Forest. He come off the bench, and in that 20 minutes he scored, great goal. And it was like the best he'd looked for a while. Then he played against Wolves, slammed it. I think he got 4 goals, and he just looked mint. And he looked back. He looked like fresh and ready. So like, that's good news. So again, you know what I mean? Because if there's going to be spacing behind your defense, Haaland's going to love that tomorrow. And again, don't really get spacing behind defenses because most teams play low block against us. So it could be interesting.
He's definitely going to get the space, but I think Van de Ven, I'm actually looking forward to that battle. Apart from like the fact that we're probably going to get pumped, I'm looking forward to Haaland versus Van de Ven. I think that'll be a really good battle because they're both big and they're both like literally built like the same stature, both super fast. I think in behind, I just want to see them have a little leg race. It'd be a good little 1v1 battle, man.
Yeah. Well, I think you're gonna need Van de Ven to be on top of his game because if you guys are playing that high line and we've got someone like KDB playing through balls in there, he's gonna. Do
you know what? Just thinking about it now, one way we could potentially tweak the system to adapt to you guys is we could go 3 at the back. If Ange wants
I
to really,
I literally said that the other day. I said you could go Dragusin, Romero, and Van de Ven.
Yeah, no, if he wants to show his tactical flexibility, for me, that would probably be the best way to do it. Because Porro is more than capable on the wing. You can just put him as a right winger, playing as sort of a wing back.
I think he'd probably prefer that, Porro, wouldn't he?
He definitely would. He'd get way more freedom going forward. And then on the left side, if I don't know, you chuck Kulu out there, chuck Brennan Johnson playing on the wing. For me, I'll definitely go for that because at the end of the day, we're gonna need man in the back of the box. We're gonna need bodies to defend that line, and if we all know what your team's going to be able to do to us, it's going to create chance after chance. So I think the only way to nullify your attack is potentially put 3 in there. But even then, I'll be honest, we've played with 3, 4, 5 at the back against you guys before and still lost and been pumped. So it's one of those ones, isn't it? I don't really think I think it don't matter how we set up tomorrow. That it's just gonna end up the same way it's gonna start, man. It's a loss.
Man, I need a win, bro. Oh, I need a win, man. You know what it is? Like, I keep on going through this, like, change. 1 minute, I'm proper confident. I'm like, we're going to do it 3-0. We'll turn up and we'll get the job done. And then the next minute, I'm like,
Spurs, isn't it?
fucking
You know how
Spurs, man.
this fixture gives you a lot of nightmares. I know all City fans,
Yeah.
like they hate the Spurs fixture just because they know like it's one team that we always get. But I generally feel like this time of the season is the perfect time that you guys can play us because this is when you're your best. This is at your best, and there's a couple games left, league to play for. Usually we have you around sort of January, February, where you can afford to drop points and you, or even at the start of the season, we tend to play you guys at home. But yeah, no, I think at this point where Tottenham are checked out, you guys are in full form, literally 100% in form right now. Yeah, it just works out. This fixture works out to be the one that Pep finally, you know, like he said after you guys won the treble, the next job, score a goal at White Hart Lane. He's gone and done that. So yeah, no worries.
It's a fact. Before I let you go, player of the season, who are you having?
For in general,
Yeah, just general, yeah.
Foden, man. Foden,
Going Foden.
100%. Phil Foden, man. He's absolutely shown levels this season. I've always been a massive fan of Foden. There's no taking away from that. I think most Premier League fans are. He's just majestic on the ball. He's the one player, whenever I watch him, he just reminds me of all those years that you guys had David Silva. He generally, like, I watch him and I just think he must have grown up watching Silva every other day at the training ground just because the way he plays, so elegant on the ball, the fact he can take multiple positions up in the midfield. And just, you know, as of recent, the goal scoring, the variety of goals.
Yeah.
Boy, he's not been playing games, man. Left foot, right foot, top bins, bottom corner, edge of the box, 30 yards. Like, he's been feeling himself. And you can tell, like, he's generally been, he knows he's in top form. And he knows that he's like, this is my team now. He's sort of starting to take on the responsibility that, look, KDB, bro, like, it's my turn.
It's because he's been moved to the middle, bro.
Yeah,
this is what we've been waiting for years. He's been out wide. He's been doing a good job out wide, yeah. But now he's in the middle. Like, this is where he wants to play. He said it plenty of times. He wants to be a midfielder. He's got 36 GA this year. Only one of two City players to have played over 4,000 minutes. Him and Rodri are the only players that have played over 4,000 minutes.
This is one of the only seasons though that he's had like really injury free though, hasn't he? Because he does tend to pick up little knocks and stuff most seasons. Like even if it's just a few 4 games, because he goes out for a few games, then Pep might drop him, and then he takes a while to come back into the team.
So last year he had some appendectomy, whatever the fuck that is. The year before that he had a foot injury out for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Then he was injury. Then he didn't have any injury. Then he was out for 50 days back in 2018. So he's had a
he usually
few,
tends to have a small times out, but it's like, you know, Pep with his teams and stuff. He's already really weird bringing players back, but yeah, no man, he's been class. But KDB, you know, I see the other day. Today I was looking at if he gets 3 more assists, he's gonna finish on the top assister of the league. He only needs 3 assists in the next 2 games. It's nuts. KDB.
Nah, Watkins got another one today.
Ah, Fez.
Bro, you know I would have won 2.5k if he got the top assister.
Oh, no way.
Bro,
KDB.
Yeah, so listen to this, yeah. Back in like January and that, I was just like scrolling through the odds and that, and I was like, oh, top assister. I was like, and KDB had not played a game because he'd been injured. Yeah. He was still injured, but I knew that he was going to be back like in a week because obviously City fans had seen that he was going to be back, but obviously the bookies hadn't clocked on, and he was 125 to 1 to be the top assister, and it was only like the guys at the top was on like 9. I was like, this, I think 125 to 1. I thought, that's a bit naughty, that. I said, that's a little bit naughty, man. So anyways, I waxed like, fucking can't remember how much I whacked on it. I whacked a bit on it. All my mates got on it as well. And we've been checking it. You know, he should have probably had it as well, yeah? Because he's on 9. Against Everton at home, he, last minute of the game, we was 2-0 up. He had Harden right next to him, and he went to chip the goalkeeper because we was 2-0 up. It was like 90th minute, bro. He could have just passed the ball to Harden. He would have got an assist. And then against Palace the other week, he put Harden through on goal. He's got 1-on-1, and he just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. And I was like, for fuck's sake, man. So I probably should have won it, man. But I thought at the time, 125 to 1. Who do you think you are? So that's why I had to get.
Yeah, I remember even in like his first 2 games, he come with like 5 assists straight away.
He just hammed it straight away, man. But it is what it is. Yeah, he's 4 behind with 2 games left. So listen, it's never say never. It's doable, but It's
Do you know, I
unlikely,
wouldn't
man.
be surprised with KDB, to be honest. So, like, go bang 4 against West Ham, get 2 assists, 2 goals, or something like that. A couple against Spurs, he'd be all right, man.
Yeah,
You never
it's gonna be
know.
a madness. It's gonna be a madness. Listen, bro, are you going tomorrow?
No way.
You're not
Do you
going.
know what? I just don't. Nah, I don't want to go there. It's just gonna be a waste of money, a waste of time. It's late night as well, so getting back from like the game at that time and that, yeah, it's a nightmare.
It's gonna be mad, isn't it? It's such a weird atmosphere,
It
Really
is. Do you
weird
know what?
atmosphere.
I'd like to be at the game to just see what the fans in the stadium are going to be like. Because, like I said, it's not going to be full. It's not going to be fully packed, and a
What do
lot
you
of
think
the
the
fans
atmosphere is
don't
gonna
want
be
us to
like?
win.
I imagine like it's gonna be difficult for Spurs fans to be like getting in there cheering and chanting when like they don't really want to win. Like I know you don't want to lose, but at the same time you don't really want to win it. I feel like it's gonna be proper weird,
I feel like
weird
I think it's
atmosphere.
just going to be one of those really like it's not going to be like a proper Spurs fan crowd. It's just going to be a lot of tourists, a lot of like the fans that are going to their first game of the season. Because loads of none of the season ticket holders are going. A lot of them have sold their tickets. I even seen on Twitter loads of people saying, "Oh, does anyone want my ticket for free?" Like that's how bad it's been. Like a lot of people just
Oh.
giving away their tickets. So yeah, it's literally one of them ones at this point.
Yeah, Itchy Goat says, "Go on, George, do the Poznan with the City fans." Imagine if the Spurs fans did the Poznan. Oh my god, the Arsenal
No.
fans would be so rattled, bro. They'd be so rattled. You know what's funny? I've seen all these Arsenal fans who are after fucking slagging Spurs off for all these years. All these Arsenal fans are like, "Nah, guys, you need to do this, man. You
You
need to
need
do
to
this."
do it.
And it's like, fuck off, bro. You've been slagging them off for years, and now you need them to do something.
It's just the cheek, to be honest. I find it so funny that like Arsenal, and you know what I saw funniest as well. This is Arsenal's highest ever winning season. This is the most games they've ever won in the Premier League season, and they still need Spurs to go win them a title, man. Jokers, absolute jokers.
Yeah, it's actually insane, isn't it? Yeah, because we're on 26, 7, and 3.
Are you on
But,
26? They've got
26.
27 wins, ain't they?
Yeah. But obviously we got this game.
Oh,
in
they've
hand,
got the
innit?
game in hand. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you know what's mad is right. You know when we won the league under Mancini, we won the same amount of games as we're going to win this season if we win the league.
If like as at this point in the season, you mean?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we drew in that year. We drew 5, lost 5, and this year we drew 7, lost 3. So
Yeah, no.
obviously-
To be fair, this year has been it's been one of those seasons where teams have been allowed to drop quite a lot of points. Because when you and Liverpool are going back and forth, it was usually like 3 or 4 games you only drop points in the whole year.
Hmm.
I mean, looking at you now, you drop points in 10 games. Arsenal drop points in 10 games. Liverpool, hey, crazy,
Well,
man.
for us, man, it was we just struggled against like the bigger sides, man. You know what I mean? And that's potentially a little bit of a worry if you do want to worry City fans. Is that obviously our record against the bigger sides this year hasn't been good. You know what I mean? Liverpool home and away, no wins. Chelsea home and away, no wins. Tottenham at home, drew. Arsenal
Didn't beat
lost,
Arsenal.
draw. Yeah, that's all.
Shit, that's pretty much all of your.
That's crazy as well because normally we do quite well in the big games, especially at home. Like we usually like winning most of ours at home, but this year we've just kind of struggled a little bit. I think they came at the wrong time though for me. We played them in the middle of the season when like Pep was rotating and doing a bit of like mad stuff with the formation and playing Alvarez in positions where he probably shouldn't have played him, and obviously Kevin wasn't fully back for some of those games as well. I just feel like it came at a dodgy time, but time will tell. If we could look back in 2 games and say there were good points. If we drop points tomorrow or drop points at West Ham, then we're looking back at them saying they were poor points. That's how the game works, isn't it? You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, there's no chance tomorrow. Honestly, I generally just think tomorrow's a formality. Obviously, West Ham, I can't really speak for them. I don't know what's gonna go on
nah,
that
bro.
weekend.
West Ham fans are worse than Spurs fans. They're desperate for like 8-0, man. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing these West Ham fans. They're like, nah.
I don't know why they're trying. Like, I didn't even think West Ham and Arsenal hated each other. I didn't even think that was a
I think the
rivalry.
Declan Rice thing fucked them.
Of course, isn't it? Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. They don't want
And
Declan
now
Rice
they're
winning.
just like they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And I don't think they can't even get in Europe now. So
No,
it's
I
like,
just checked that. Yeah, they can't. They've got nothing to play for.
they've got
absolutely.
literally nothing to play
They're
for.
finished in 9th already as well, pretty much. Because Brighton would have to win 2 games. So yeah, no. Yeah.
I can't lie, man.
Guess
We're playing probably the 2 best teams we could potentially play when we were trying to go for a title against Arsenal, Spurs and West Ham.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
literally couldn't complain. 2 London clubs wanting to do you a favour. Yeah, nah. It's
a
just a
madness.
formality. So yeah, man. Congratulations on the win. The 4P is pretty much here. Fuck.
I don't want to say out until
I
it's
don't
done.
even know how I can say that. A 4P, crazy stuff.
Yeah, it is a madness. Listen, guys, before we wrap up, man, you got any questions for George or myself? Q&A section. Get your questions in now. And we'll take your questions. Get your questions in now.
What's your prediction for tomorrow, though?
I've gone 3-0,
What's your
bro.
score prediction? 3-0.
3-0. I've got. You know what it is? I think KDB is just going to go on a madness tomorrow.
Yeah. He does love it. To be fair, he loves turning up against Spurs. I ain't really seen him had a bad game against us, so no, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I just think tomorrow's a game for the big players. Yeah, Diaz, Rodri, KDB, Haaland, Foden. I'm just looking at these and saying, you got to go out there, boys, and fucking do this. You know what I mean? And I think Kevin De Bruyne tomorrow. He done it a few years ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, we went to Wolves, and it's different Wolves, but like I think maybe Wolves were playing quite well at the time, and we had to go away to Wolves. And again, I'm sure it was a night match. And everyone was like, yo, this Wolves game going to be a bit tricky, you know? And he just turned up and scored 4 goals, bro, in one game. And it was just like, shut up, man. Yeah, I mean, I just think he's that type of player. He's that type of player that will just thrive.
He's got that.
He'll thrive off this.
He loves the pressure. He does.
Let's have a look at some of these questions then, man. Ed Mancunian Therapy says, what lessons do you think Ange should take from this season?
Definitely tactical flexibility, man. In the Premier League, there's no way that you can just play one way every single time. You need to switch up your formation at times. You need to switch up your tactical game in-game play, and you need to be able to provide different options. You can't always just go fit square pegs in round holes like you do with Emerson at left back and that. Like you got to change up the system to fit those players sometimes. So yeah, no, I definitely say that's his biggest takeaway.
All right, Kazan says, if you're Ange, what do you tell your players ahead of this game?
Same thing you tell your players before every other game, man. You got to go out there, perform, and win the game.
Who's your biggest threat tomorrow night?
KDB 100%. He's the player I'm most scared of.
And Son for Spurs.
Yeah.
Son's for Spurs. There you go, Jess. That was the answer to KDB. Josh says, George, where's your City shirt? I'll have mine soon. Beautiful away kit. What a fucking guy.
We don't wear no other shirts apart from Spurs around here, man.
George, what position will Son play? Striker or left wing?
More than likely off the left, to be honest. I think that's where he's played his best.
Who will play up top then?
Do you know what? He's sort of been changing up as of recent. I'd love to see a youngster thrown in there. Throw Dane Scarlett up top, man. Give the young boys a little run out, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the under 18s on as well, you know.
So he's turning now. At the start of the stream, he was like, yo, we got to go win the game. And now he's like, get the academy boys in. Big up, man. Listen, chat, we'll wrap it up. Big up for you guys for joining, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it. What, you got a YouTube channel, bro? Or you just do the TikTok?
I don't, man. Do you know what? This season, next season, I'm definitely going to start one. I'm just so lazy, I'll be honest. Like, it's just, I respect all you guys putting in the work for these YouTube channels, because sometimes these people don't realize how much work you do have to put into just setting up even these shows. The setup before all the shows is hard enough, let alone doing all the shows and putting in like an hour or two a day to it. So, yeah, I'm definitely due to, but yeah, it's a lot of work.
Fairs, bro. Big up Kate as well. Says, big up LB and George. For the record, I don't want to lose tomorrow. I'm only interested in my time. Nobody else, says Kate. Okay.
Great, Kate, man. Big up Kate every time.
Fairs, Kate. Fairs. Yeah, Martin, I'll send you the link tomorrow, bro. Get yourself on, man. Get yourself on. Right, listen, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, man. Jesus, I've done some hours today, Briz. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. I might do a daytime stream, not 100% sure, but I will be back obviously for the watch along starting at 7 p.m. UK time, guys. It's going to be a madness. Is this the last big one? We win tomorrow. Is that the league dusted? It's going to be crazy, man. Make sure you join me 7 p.m. UK time. Big up to George. Big up to you guys in the chat. Smash a like. If you're watching back on replay, get your comments in down below. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Big day. See you in a bit.